Joel.
I'm Laura.
We're the Newlydeads. And we're here today to tell you about something that we recently found at the Dollar Tree.
You found. He was like a kid in a candy store.
They have candy there at the store.
But they also have...
Films.
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 So many spooky films.
And at the two previous encounters, once where my wife bought films for me, and then again I went with her and found some, and we did a short video in the bedroom where we talked about the movies and kind of gave you a sneak peek. We have not gotten to all of them yet. We've gotten to some of them, but we're talking about maybe taking Dollar Store Drive-In and Dine-In and just making it Dollar Store Drive-In. Because
we don't always eat food.
Right. We can expand our approach towards watching these films so you guys can get more of the Dollar Store experience, because Cinematorium is more for
movies that we want to watch that aren't like super cheesy and only $1.25.
Correct. Ones we've actually sought out to see on purpose. These are ones that are just completely random, find in the store, look at them, don't know anything about them other than that they look interesting, buy it for $1.25 and change and tax, and then tell you what we think, which, you know, little did we know that we'd find such a masterpiece as Ouija Room, which the other two, you
and even Isaiah watched it.
My kid, you know, wasn't as sure as I am about it. But anyway, so let's get into this.
We're gonna go through the
stack
gems that he found.
So we got 8 new films here.
We're just gonna show little snippet previews here of what we're gonna watch.
And a little breakdown of what it may be or what we know it is.
This one's a Blu-ray.
The first one is a Blu-ray called Distorted, starring
Christina Ricci.
And?
Oh yeah, John Cusack.
John Cusack. And from
the old Cusack.
The little brief synopsis on the back here, from what I can tell, it's about a building and bad things happening either by the building or in the building. They suspect that the building has a dark side. So it's kind of like, it's also got Brendan Fletcher in it, who I like a lot. He's from the Rampage series of films. But anyway, kind of like, I think High Rise was a movie that
luxury
came out not too long ago, or even Shiver to some extent, the original Cronenberg film. That one's about creatures. This one I think is about a high-rise that's got
like brainwashing residents, it says.
Weird happening. So I'm actually moderately excited to watch this one.
Yeah, I mean, those are good actors, you know. Don't fear the lies, fear the truth. So I don't necessarily think it's like a horror film, but I do feel like it's probably, you know, like a what you call it?
Creepy.
Thriller.
Thriller.
It's a thriller. Yes.
The next one we have is The Haunted.
There is no escape.
Tis not Hilary Swank, but it looks like Hilary Swank. This one is about a person who's employed as a night nurse for an ailing man, and then some things happen with creepy stuff going on, and nobody is in this that I know the names for. Should have put my glasses on because I'm sitting here doing this number.
Employed as a night nurse for an ailing man. Young caretaker Emma arrives at an isolated house for her first shift. Yeah. Very sinister.
Sinister.
Very.
Yeah, she looks pretty sinister. That's the whole reason I bought it, is because it looked like a sort of a haunted house thing, and then this creepy looking chick on the back. I'm like, we'll give it a shot. I didn't recognize anybody's names in it, which is usually a good sign. That means, you know, it's probably Canadian or European, because we found that Dollar Trees, if it's not somebody that you know, they buy them in bulk apparently from Canadian or European distributors of independent low-budget films. All right, so the next one is one that's actually been on my list to watch at some point, and I just have not gotten around to it. So now we own it. We're not quite sure what we're doing with the movies yet. They may just be decoration in the background, but we may give them away. Who knows? Why are you zooming in on us?
Oops. I was not pushing that.
I'm like, what is happening?
Will you show the movie?
I'm trying to, but currently Shaggy is trying to chew his foot off. All right, this movie is...
This is literally not even pushing on it. Oh, I wanna be like...
Oh. Is Shark Night.
He's very excited about Shark Night.
From the director of The Final Destination, which is not the first one, incidentally. I believe that's the last one. This one is about some kids who go on a dream getaway, and then bad things start happening with sharks and whatnot. Sarah Paxton is in it, who I like Sarah Paxton.
Taste the Terror.
David Morse is in it, I think. Oh, Joel David Moore is in it, who I like him as well. He's
you like everyone named Joel?
I do, almost. He was in Spiral, which if you've never seen it, with Amber Tamblyn and Joel David Moore, or you know him from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Big creepy tech dude that thinks he's a robot.
Oh yeah, I like that guy. He was also in something else.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So the next one up is Monster Party. I was just waiting till you're done. This one has some names in it. Robin Tunney, who people know from The Craft. Lance Reddick, who people know from Resident Evil, and he was recently in... he's been doing some voice acting recently. So you'd know him if you saw him. Gosh darn it. John Wick. He's in the John Wick franchise.
Mm.
But yeah, that's Lance Reddick. And like I said, Robin Tunney, you know, from the Craft and a bunch of other stuff. But this one... Here.
3 small-time thieves specializing in home burglary pose as caterers for a fancy dinner party at the Malibu mansion of the extravagantly wealthy Dawson family. Mm. But their plan for the perfect heist goes horribly wrong when they discover that the Dawsons and their guests are actually a support group of recovering serial killers. When one of the addicts can't resist the urge to attack, the simple cash grab becomes an all-out battle for survival where no one is safe. That sounds promising.
See? And the cast, you know,
sounds fun.
Enough interesting people in it that I'm like, okay.
It's from the producer. From
the producer. Yeah, when it says from the producer, a lot of times there's about 5 to 10 producers of a film, so
yes,
it's probably not the one that's the one you really want it to be. It's the one that's like, I got $30. Can I invest?
Yeah, and they're like, sure.
Okay.
You can take out the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get an executive producer credit, baby.
I'm really excited for this next one.
This one, I've kind of put these in order of anticipation. This one, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of it, this as being a thing. But Killer Tattooist. We are both kind of curious about this piece of cinema.
Oh, Lord.
He always leaves his mark. It'd be funny if his name was Mark.
Mark leaves a mark. Do you want me to read?
I was trying to see if I recognized anybody in the cast.
Oh, Molly Duggins, Lewis Kirk, Noellen Comiskey,
nope.
Haley Marie Axe, Joel Rothwell,
nope.
Jamie Spencer.
But I like him. His name's Joel.
Yeah, exactly. Claudia Grace Mickle.
Nope.
Sharon Lawrence,
Right.
Samantha Ulysses,
Yeah.
and Richard Duggins, and Tony Reed.
Oh, no. No, don't know anybody. So what's the brief summary here? You don't have to read the whole thing, but...
Yeah, basically a bunch of murders have occurred. They were tattooed and skinned.
Seems kind of redundant. Why would you spend the time to tattoo somebody and then
skin them?
Unless you're, like, since tattoos...
Like Ghoulish Mortals has, like,
art.
skin tattoo thing.
So, yeah, if you take it off and then you're, like, hanging it on your wall as art, maybe? Don't know. Weird.
I have to read the thing.
Go ahead.
When the police hear a family that was found slaughtered had planned to get tattooed together before disappearing, they send undercover detective Eva to the local tattoo parlors. There, Eva meets Nathan, a charismatic tattooist, not knowing that he is the serial killer that she's been seeking. So we already know who the killer is.
Well, that's...
When the two start dating, and then it's like, period. And then it's like, when the two start dating. Eva has no idea how much danger she's putting herself in and what a horrible end she could face by the hands of the deranged killer tattooist.
I mean, we got to get tattoos together, but we're not like a family of like 3 or 4 people.
I
It's
like
the
that they
2 of
just
us.
tell you already, like, who's the...
Like that's the whole story right there.
The
You don't have to watch
end.
it.
So it's a love story.
From the producer of that other movie that you saw.
There was no from the other producer.
No, I'm just saying that I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that's some of the movie you've seen. This one I showed her and I was like, I know you're going to be excited about The Barge People.
Large people. A group of friends sets off for a relaxing weekend away on the canals of the glorious British countryside, unaware of the flesh-eating mutants. What does it say? Lurking in the water, ready and waiting to feed. The barge people is a highly entertaining and what is that? Satisfyingly? Yeah, satisfyingly. Gory horror film.
That's from Starburst
Magazine.
You know, the magazine of the candy writes, they are all about horror at Starburst. So if you like horror and you like candy, Starburst is the one for you.
Barge
We're not
people.
a sponsor. But
no one escapes.
I based on the image here of the creature, it doesn't quite look like this, but kind
Nope.
of, sort of.
It's like what was the thing we just watched recently that it was like the thing wasn't like the thing at all? Oh, the killer robot Santa thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, didn't
Wait.
look anything like the thumbnail thing for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Christmas
Bloody Christmas. Mm-hmm.
Although also when we were watching we also watched a YouTube video about Devil Woman from Mars, and the robot in that did not look like the robot in the poster either.
What?
Nobody in this
Fakery?
looks familiar. I just thought the cover looked interesting. The next one is one that there's a million of these kinds of movies, so you're bound to run into one no matter where you go. But we've got Evil Little Things.
Oh, they are. They look like boglins.
They do look like boglins. They were supposed to be fun. Starring Zach Galligan, who, if you know Zach Galligan, you will know him from Gremlins, if nothing
Yeah.
else. And that alone to me was like, okay, I'm sold. You got creepy little monsters that look kind of like dolls or something, and Zach Galligan. So, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, basically a kid finds a toy maker with stories to tell. So it sounds like it might be...
I don't recognize anybody else in it, and his is the last name.
Oh.
Credits, so
It's an anthology. Because it says the first is of a leprechaun seeking revenge on a defenseless family. The second is of a doll who works evil on her fragile owner. And then it says the toy maker gives a boy a clown named Giggles. Clowns are supposed to be the guardians of happiness, right? These evil little things will cause you many sleepless nights. So yeah, I think it is an anthology.
Which, if that's the case, Hannah Fearman. Any of you out there who've seen the original VHS, the segment with that was then turned into its own film called, starts with an S, Siren? If you saw that short film, you saw VHS? I showed it to you.
Yes.
The girl that's like a succubus kind of, where like she's got her face splits open and she like eats people and she flies.
Yes.
And she doesn't talk.
Yes.
That's Hannah Fearman. I didn't see that at first, but yeah, she's become a bit of a B-movie horror scream queen of sorts. And Siren wasn't bad. VHS was better, but it wasn't bad. And yeah, she's made a name for herself.
Is this your one that you're looking forward to the most?
Is it not for you?
You are super excited about it.
This is the first one I saw after, because there was 2 other Blu-rays that I didn't show on here because they're ones that we're just adding to our collection, which is Spree, starring Joe Carey from Stranger Things, which we've already seen and we enjoyed quite a bit.
We did. Yeah. It was interesting seeing him in that kind of role.
It's a well done found footage film. And then Bad Moms, which I would wanted to see it. Just Kristen Bell alone was enough reason, but there's a great cast, and
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
Laura said it was funny, and it's
Sorry.
from the writer of The Hangover, which I freaking love The Hangover. So.
Yeah, and they made, a Christmas one out of it. So.
Yep. So if you like it, but it's $1.25. It's either that, or you wait until you can either rent it or get it for free streaming somewhere. So why not?
Why not?
All right, and the final one. This is the one that I saw that made me go, okay, now I got to go through all the movies because at first there was like no horror in any of the ones I was looking at, and then I saw this. It's called Voodoo Apocalypse. Now, without even reading, I've never heard of this movie. Without even reading the synopsis or anything, you just look at the cover, and then you flip it over and you look at the back cover, and
I have to read the synopsis for
there's
that.
like zombies, there's lucha libres, there's like people on fire, there's like voodoo, there's a frickin' car, a fight on top of a car with swords. I mean, I can't get more excited about this film. I think it's Spanish because all the names are it's either that or Mexican. I'm not sure which, and I'm just going off of the names. It could be.
Well, Lucha Libre
is a Mexican
wrestler, right?
And I don't know if it says on there, and I hope I don't mean to offend anybody if I was out of turn there, but I'm just going off of what's.
Can I just read the
Yeah, go right ahead.
White Chocolate is a rookie police officer assigned to hunt down famous drug trafficker Jimmy Vanilla.
Okay, so
Charlie Vargas is an officer whose partner was killed by Vanilla. Together, the two team up on a wild journey to apprehend the drug trafficker that takes them through the world of black magic, Mexican wrestling, kung fu, enchanted swords, and songs that turn listeners into zombies.
I'm telling you.
I'm excited. I feel like our friend Josh should watch this if he hasn't already, and then if he has watched it, weigh in on the comments.
Yeah, he's big into Mexican wrestler movies. I recently have gotten into them just through El Santo, and have already built a collection of El Santo films that is about 12 movies deep already. He's got a huge history, but I'm a fan. I've even started drawing him, making little Lucha Libre posters, which someday will be up on our store, which can be located at thenewlydeads.com. Check that segue out, kids. Which I'm trying to put it somewhere in
So 2018.
So, go check out the website. But yeah, I've never heard of this, and see, look at the name. So it must be Mexican.
Jose.
From Mexico.
Ramayo, Sergio Ramos, Jorge Galvan.
There's a lot of
Carla Barrico.
on the top.
And then, Raquel.
I can't think what those are called.
They're Tillies or something like that? Tildies,
yep.
Why did I remember that? But I can't remember anything else on the planet.
I'm very excited
Tildy.
about this. Just looks like a fun, just like ride of craziness, and I can't.
I think we should just watch this right now, dear.
Don't have time tonight.
It says 2018 on the DVD, but
that's pretty that's pretty recent, which I'm not surprised because a lot of the movies they have there are fairly recent.
But the cars in it look really old, and everything else looks like 70s or something.
Well, I think that's the idea.
Well, they did a great freaking job.
It's to try and make it look, like it's a retro kind of grindhousey. Yeah,
it does. Looks like
it does say 2018.
All right.
It's an hour and 35 minutes. I was just checking because it's from Spain.
Oh.
Okay. I said it was one or the other, and it was Tenerife, Canary Islands, in Spain.
Yep.
It is languages in it are English, Spanish, and Italian. If that goes to tell you anything.
I'm excited.
But it on IMDb has got 4.8 out of 5, which is enough for me to.
It's got 4.8 out of 5?
Out of 10, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, what the hell?
Sorry, out of 10.
I was like, that's enough for anyone to watch it. But 4.8 for a movie like this, I feel like is a pretty decent. I feel like Joe Bob should review the Apocalypse Voodoo. Oh my gosh. Please, Joe Bob.
It just looks like an amazing combination of, they took everything in the kitchen sink and just went, whoomp, which, sometimes you got to have a little bit of that. And it reminds me of kind of the insanity of One Cut of the Dead, where it keeps getting weirder.
That was a good movie.
But ends up being, it makes sense. It just is a big cacophony of weirdness.
Yeah, I like that word.
And all the other films up there are pretty straightforward as far as what's going to happen. This one, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm legit not sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're excited. You're excited.
This is my exciting face.
Okay, good. Thank you for watching our little synopsis of the movies we're going to be watching.
Trying to whet your appetite.
Yes, we are whetting it.
For the upcoming films.
Yeah.
And I've already pimped the website, so we don't have to do that again.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No. I'm excited. Let's start watching movies.
That's all we do.
All right.
That's my life.
High five. High five.
We're turning into putty all of a sudden.
All right. We'll see you later.
I'm Joel.
I'm Laura.
Bye.